Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Ms. Shumala Kadir. Students, hope you all are fine. Today we have our new topic, that is tannins. Tannins are secondary metabolite and present in a number of plants. They are present in tea, chocolate, berries. They have a number of medicinal and biological properties and used in cosmetic, cosmeceutical, pharmaceutical, and leather industries. They are phenolic substances and produced as secondary metabolites, and their name was proposed by scientist Siglin in 1796. Moreover, they are non-nitrogenous, non-crystalline, astringent biomolecules and widely distributed among the plant kingdom and present in stem, bark, leaves, and in fruits. Owing to their water-soluble nature, they are easily extracted out and also useful in various application in chemical and pharmaceutical industry, as I told you. And these are the mixture of polyphenols, but are difficult to separate. Chromatographic techniques can identify the simpler polyphenol present in tannins. Tannins can be classified into pseudotannins and true tannins. The true tannins can further be classified into hydrolyzable tannins and condensed or non-hydrolyzable tannins and complex tannins. Hydrolyzable tannins are further classified into elastitannins and gallotannins. So what are true tannins and pseudotannins? True tannins are polyhydroxyphenolic compound which convert the animal hide to leather by the process of precipitation of protein and give positive gold beater skin test. What is this gold beater skin test? This is a test in which gold beater skin is used, and this is the membrane which is produced from intestine of ox, which behave like untannin hide. In this test, a piece of gold beater skin was soaked in hydrochloric acid and then washed with distilled water, and then it is placed in tannin solution for 5 minutes and then again washed with distilled water, and then it is transferred to 1% solution of ferrous sulfate. The change of the color to brown or black indicates the positive test. And this test is positive in case of true tannins. Whereas the pseudotannins are the phenolic compounds of the plant which do not convert the animal hide into leather and give negative gold beater skin test. And they have lower molecular weight as compared to true tannins. The true tannins are further classified into hydrolyzable tannins, non-hydrolyzable tannins, and complex tannins. So what are hydrolyzable tannins? These are the tannins having polyhydric compound esterified with glucose, and thus on hydrolysis they yield phenolic acid with sugar. Hydrolyzable tannins are generally hydrolyzed by weak acids or weak bases to produce phenolic compounds with carbohydrates. They are also hydrolyzed by water or enzymes. They include gallotannin, which upon hydrolysis produce gallic acid, and elagitannin, which upon hydrolysis produce elagic acid. Here you can see gallotannin and gallic acid structure. Gallotannin is producing gallic acid. Elagitannin, which is hydrolyzable tannins, producing elagic acid. First producing hexahydroxy diphenyl and then elagic acid. You can see the glucose molecule attached in elagitannin, which is releases upon hydrolysis with hexahydroxyphenyl, which is then converted to elagic acid. Now the second class of true tannins include non-hydrolyzable or condensed tannins. They contain only phenolic nuclei, but are frequently linked with carbohydrates or protein. And in the non-hydrolyzable tannins, condensation of two or more flavin trioles, which is also called catechin, or flavin 3,4-diols glycosylinin are involved, and their condensation result in the formation of such type of tannins. As you can see in the structure, a number of flavone trioles are present in condensed tannins. The non-hydrolyzable tannins, when treated with hydrolytic agent, they polymerize to form red color phlobophene, which is represented in the figure, where phlobophenes are produced upon treatment with hydrolytic agent. The third class of true tannins are complex tannins. As the name indicates, they have complex structure. They are the mixture of both hydrolyzable tannins and non-hydrolyzable tannins. They are also defined as tannins in which a catechin unit is bound glycosidically to either gallotannin or an elagitannin unit. Means both hydrolyzable and non-hydrolyzable tannins are present in complex tannins. And that is why their structure is so complex. And the example of complex tannins is acutidecimine. Here the different classes of true tannins are represented. Hydrolyzable tannins include gallotannins and elagitanins. You can see in their structure, sugar molecules are attached. In complex tannins, both hydrolyzable and non-hydrolyzable tannins are present, and condensed tannins having catechin moieties in their structure. Hope you got understood. the different classes of tannins. Hydrolyzable tannins, non-hydrolyzable tannins, and complex tannins are belong to true tannins, which give positive gold beater skin test, whereas pseudotannins give negative gold beater skin test. Some of the basic physical properties of tannins. They are reddish brown or dark brown in color. They are soluble in water, acetone, glycerol, and alcohol. They are non-crystalline in state and have bitter and puckering taste. There are a number of chemical tests which are also used as identification tests for tannins. Tannins with alkaloids and gelatin form precipitates. With ferric chloride or with ferric salts, they form dark blue or greenish black soluble compounds. Tannins with potassium ferricyanide and ammonia produce a deep red color. They are also precipitated by the salt of copper, lead, and tin, and by strong potassium dichromate or 1% chromic acid solution. A very important action of tannins that they precipitate proteins from solution and can combine with proteins, which then rendering them to resistant to proteolytic enzyme, and when they are applied to living tissues, producing such action, and this is called astringent effect. And this action of tannins make the tannins important compounds in cosmeceutical industry and in various other applications. The gold beater test, as I told you, it is positive in case of true tannins, in which the gold beater skin, which is the membrane produced from intestine of fox, which behave like untannins animal hide. This gold beater skin is soaked in 2% hydrochloric acid solution, and then it is washed with distilled water, and then it is placed in the tannin solution for 5 minutes, and then it is again washed with water and transferred to 1% ferrous sulfate solution. If in case it is true tannins, so the color of the gold beater skin is changes to brown or black. Whereas in case of pseudotannins, the test will be negative. Tannins have a wide range of application because of their biological properties, because they are the polyphenolic compounds. So they are considered as a source of energy through their oxygen content. They serve as a protective to the plant, especially from herbivores. In the food industry, tannins are also used to purify wine, beer, and other fruit juices. They are also used in textile, dyes, and as coagulant in rubber production. Owing to their biological properties, there are also interesting compounds regarding nutraceutical industry. So they are used in nutraceutical industry and in cosmetics for anti-aging skincare and to combat hair loss. Tannins also have antimicrobial property, the antimicrobial property of tannin acids make them useful in food processing to increase the shelf life of certain food products. It is also applied in the manufacturing of ink, as they have astringent property, so they are used in the reduction of gelatin, protein, and alkaloids in laboratories. Because of their property to convert animal hide to leather, the true tannins are used in the tanning process of animal hide to convert them into leather. They are also used in oils, dyes, fibers, glue, waxes, perfume, drug and flavoring agent. Various tannins produce different colors with ferric chloride, like black, blue, or green. Tannins have a number of medicinal and biological properties. They are polyphenolic compounds, that is why producing their effect as antioxidant. Decreasing the peroxide level in the body. They are anti-mutagenic and prevent the cancer by preventing cellular damages. They inhibit the lipid peroxidation, and they are also useful in hypertension because they decrease blood pressure. So the tannin-rich diet are useful in hypertension to decrease the blood pressure. They also accelerate blood clotting. They are also antimicrobial. They produce their action as antiviral, antibacterial. They are hypolipidemic, decreasing the lipid cholesterol level in the body, and they are also anti-inflammatory, especially the inflammation of the skin. When they are applied, they act as anti-inflammatory. Tannins are used in different GI disorders. They are used as antidiarrheal. They also have antiseptic property, and the drugs which are rich in tannins precipitate the proteins for the protection of inflamed surface of the skin, and thus used in the treatment of burns, in which the proteins of exposed tissues are precipitated and form a mildly antiseptic protective coat, under which the regeneration of new tissues is taking place. Tannins are also used for the immediate relief of dentistry. So, because of having these a number of medicinal and biological properties, they are used in different fields, in food industry, in leather industry, in cosmeceutical industry, in nutraceutical industry, in pharmaceutical industries. Tannins are present in a number of plants. They are found in angiosperm and gymnosperm, and the families which are rich in tannin content include Aceraceae, Actinidaceae, Bixiraceae, Burseraceae, and Ericaceae. So this is all about today's lecture. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will start the tannin containing drugs. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.